Breast milk is a living biological fluid. It is packed with a complex matrix of essential nutrients and vital antibodies that directly drive an infant's growth and immune system development. But those exact biological components make it highly volatile. If handled or stored improperly, these fragile nutrients break down rapidly, and the fluid becomes an ideal breeding ground for dangerous bacterial growth. To prevent that waste and ensure complete safety, you need a highly specific protocol. We are going to walk through the exact step-by-step system to safely pump, properly package, and perfectly warm breast milk. Before we begin, you will need a few physical tools ready to go: a sterilized breast pump, purpose-built milk storage bags, a permanent marker, and clean, sterile feeding bottles. Mastering this specific sequence is the only proven way to guarantee your baby receives the full nutritional payload of every ounce you express. Step 1 is extraction, and the absolute baseline of this phase is hygiene. You must wash your hands thoroughly and ensure every component of your pump is completely clean and sterilized before use. Next, prepare your body physically. Sit in a comfortable position and consider applying a warm compress to your breast. This gentle heat directly triggers your body's physiological letdown reflex, encouraging the milk to flow. Once you begin pumping, you need to establish a consistent rhythm. Alternate breasts every 10 to 15 minutes. Continue this cycle until you see the milk flow drastically reduce. A major point of failure at this stage is equipment reuse. Never attempt to use a pump that has not been re-sterilized since your last session, as residual milk can quickly harbor bacteria. By strictly controlling hygiene and maximizing extraction, you create the sterile, high-volume foundation required for safe, long-term preservation. As soon as the pumping session ends, immediately transfer the expressed milk into a dedicated, sterile storage container. Delaying this step increases the risk of contamination. Follow the 1-inch rule when filling. Breast milk expands as it freezes. Leaving 1 inch of empty headspace prevents the container from bursting. Next, you must label the container with the exact date and time of expression on the outside. Be sure you are using specialized breast milk storage bags or food-grade containers with tight-fitting lids. Standard disposable bottle liners or everyday plastic zip bags will chemically degrade and leak over time. Proper physical containment combined with accurate timestamping locks in the milk's safety and prevents catastrophic loss of your stored supply. With the milk securely packaged, we move to temperature control. This is the single most critical factor in halting bacterial growth and preserving the integrity of the fluid. This chart maps the strict limits for safe storage. Freshly expressed milk safely remains in a refrigerator for 4 days. In a standard freezer, it lasts 6 months. In a standalone deep freezer, that limit extends to 12 months. This top-down heat map of a refrigerator interior shows exactly where those containers need to go. You must push them all the way to the back wall, where the dark blue indicates the coldest, most consistent temperature. Storing milk in or near the appliance door is a critical mistake. The constant opening and closing creates severe temperature fluctuations that actively degrade the milk's structure. Placing the containers in the deepest part of the chill zone, while strictly monitoring your labeled dates, guarantees the chemical stability of the milk over time. When it is time to feed, you must safely transition the frozen supply back to a liquid state. There are only 2 safe methods for this: a slow thaw by placing the container in your refrigerator overnight, or a rapid thaw by holding it under warm running water. Once thawed, warm the liquid prior to feeding by placing the container in a bowl of warm water, or by using a dedicated bottle warmer. Warning tone. This thermal imaging simulation demonstrates exactly why you should never use a microwave to warm breast milk. Microwaves heat liquids highly unevenly, creating isolated, deep red hotspots throughout the bottle. These extreme temperature spikes pose a serious risk of scalding the infant's mouth and throat. Furthermore, the intense localized radiation actively destroys the milk's heat-sensitive nutrients. As the milk sits, you will notice the fat naturally separates from the water, forming distinct layers. To reintegrate these layers, hold the bottle and use a gentle, continuous swirling motion. Never shake the bottle vigorously. Kinetic aggression will permanently damage the complex structural consistency of the fluid. Finally, there is an absolute rule for the end of the feeding. Any milk remaining in the bottle must be immediately discarded. Once the baby drinks, bacteria from their mouth enter the bottle, and the leftover milk is no longer safe to store. Applying these precise thermal and mechanical handling techniques during preparation ensures the milk safely reaches the infant precisely as nature intended. By following these steps, you achieve two exact outcomes. On one side, you deliver a perfectly warmed, highly nutritious bottle ready for immediate feeding. On the other, you maintain a securely organized, date-labeled, long-term freezer inventory. But remember, this entire system collapses without the continuous baseline rule of rigorous hand washing and thorough equipment sterilization before every single session. If you have specific medical nuances or personal concerns regarding your milk supply, consult directly with your healthcare provider or a certified lactation consultant. Apply these uncompromising standards daily to protect every ounce you pump. If you found this protocol helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based parenting guides.